Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And of course, as you might expect, I support this effort. I think that UNRWA absolutely needs to be defunded by the United States. I mean, I had an amendment on the floor less than a month before the horrific October 7th attack. I had an amendment to defund UNRWA. It failed. It failed. We all saw what happened on October 7th. Those are the consequences of failure. The Biden administration has given UNRWA $730 million during its term here. $730 million hard-earned tax dollars of good Americans who wake up in the morning, oftentimes leave their homes in the dark, lunchbox in hand, don't get to see their kids off on the school bus. And we're sending the money. Since 1949, ladies and gentlemen, since 1949, we've been sending this money to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. Here's what they're doing. They're relieving Israel of their sovereignty, and they're working on destroying Israel and the United States of America. That's what they're doing. I mean, it's not just 12 people that were in Hamas that work for UNRWA. 10%, at least 10% of UNRWA's workforce, we're told, is closely tied to Hamas, a terrorist organization, again, sponsored by Iran. I know my good friend and colleague from Pennsylvania doesn't like the assertion that the administration's on both sides of the war, but $730 million has gone to the people that attacked Israel. We're going to give Israel billions of dollars to defend themselves. We're going to give billions of dollars to Israel to attack Gaza and essentially level most of it. And then they're going to ask for more money to fix Gaza. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the definition of being on both sides of the conflict are, but it seems to me that that would qualify. It seems to me that that would qualify. Now, since 1949, our American tax dollars have funded the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. This isn't the United States going over there. Maybe it'd be different. Hopefully it would be different, but it's the United Nations. And I don't know if you're keeping up with current events. United Nations seems a little hostile to our friends in Israel, just a little hostile. But we keep on giving them money, and then they send it to UNRWA, and they tell you, oh, my goodness, it's for housing, it's for milk for the little children, it's for clothing, all those basic needs. Meanwhile, the textbooks tell the little children in Gaza to slit the throats of the Jews, and you pay for that. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm not really thrilled about it. And I wonder, since 1949, whose responsibility is this? I mean, my goodness, we've released the funds to Iran, hundreds of billions of dollars. Maybe Iran wants to fund UNRWA, or the money can just go direct to Hamas and doesn't have to go through UNRWA. I'm not sure, but here's what I do know. The solution at hand right now isn't working. Now, my friends will say, well, they're the only ones that can do it. They're the only ones on the planet that can do it. I don't know who among you believes that, but it seems to me that every member of Congress must think that they're the only ones that can be in the seat. But miraculously, when they decide to leave or their voters determine that they've got to leave, somebody else can fill the position. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody else can do this work, and somebody else needs to do this work. And we're talking about humanitarian assistance. Let's have it vetted and certified. And if we're vetting and certifying it now, my goodness, are we a failure? I don't know what kind of wake-up call we need to get. I don't know if the United Nations through UNRWA has to send people with machine guns and machetes and whatever else on paragliders into the United States to attack synagogues across the United States. Maybe they'll get it then. But this should happen. This needs to happen. It's a forcing function. Maybe somebody else will do it, but they're not going to do it as long as UNRWA is there. And as long as we keep funding them, they're going to keep doing it. The United States needs to take a leadership role to the rest of the world that also paid into the United States, or the United Nations, with their tax dollars to fund the United Nations Relief and Works Agency and say, we've had enough. Since 1949, I don't know what the track record you need to see is, but I will tell you this, and I'll conclude with this. People are asking for a two-state solution, and the administration is now calling for the recognition of a Palestinian state. What happened on October 7th is what you get with an UNRWA-provided two-state solution. I yield the balance.
The gentleman yields back. Is there any further